So, okay, who's been turning this week? Let's hear. Are we ready to go to some gallery games?
Yeah, sure. We've got
Who,
gallery
who,
already
who
flowing
we got?
in.
Who we got? Who we got?
Let's see. Let's go to Dale. He wanted to be
Okay.
a fair-haired child,
All right,
so
Dale, you got to bring us out the hole here. Come on.
Yeah, I got a couple of little bowls here. This one's only about maybe 3 inches across and the deepest 2 inches, natural edge,
What material?
colored. Uh, it was some more of that burl I had. Started with black and then sanded that back, and then I had forest green and then pearl green on it.
Ready.
Very nice, Dale. Looks
Yeah.
great.
Yep. Like it is.
And then here's one that's a little bit bigger. Not a lot, but a little bit. And this one I started with black and then plum and then I think it was midnight blue and then sky blue.
Well,
Like dying, aren't you?
Yep. I started doing some of that.
Yep.
It's a little
'Cause-
addicting.
Yeah, and it had some grayish color in it, but it was still kind of boring. So
well, cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those were Hampshire Sheen intrinsic colors, and then I hit both of these with a couple of brushed on some shellac, a couple of coats to get them some
very
shine.
cool.
I
Yeah.
don't
I
have
like
any
it.
I don't have any sprays, and I just can't take the smell of lacquer.
Well, it
Yeah,
is a
That's
nerve agent.
Yeah, and that's the what I got for this week.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
Yep,
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you very
you're
much, Dale.
welcome.
All right, let's go to Al. Hey,
Oh,
Al.
those are nice. And like I just said, coloring is very addicting. This piece here, this goes back to Dewey. He, let's see if I can hold it better.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I like that handle, man.
This handle, this is where I cut my finger. I was holding, that's a long story. But I'm just trying here. I like it. I mean, I Dewey, what you did a couple weeks ago is just fantastic. But
Yeah. You can do that too.
oh, I've got to keep playing with this grind. I mean, this is my first handle, so I'll master that thing. I'll master that. And Dell, like you're just saying, coloring.
Oh, that's
Cool.
So this is it's something that I turned and I showed in the past, and like I just said, it's starting to be addicting. So
Yeah.
like Ruby says, she started turning to have something to paint on. Maybe all my things I'll probably re-show here again, different colors, because it's hollowed out. And,
There you go.
yeah.
What kind of wood?
This I believe was Bradford pear. Yeah, Bradford pear, and this top. This was 4 different colors this week. Yeah, believe me. I mean, I started with blue, and I did like with Dale just said, put black on first and then blue, and then I put a yellow. That didn't work right. The blue didn't work right. So that's about as clear after everything that's gone through this week. That's as clear as I can get it. I
There
think
you go.
it turned out okay because of it.
Yeah, it looks good, Al.
Yep.
Nice, Al.
Very Japanesey.
Yeah, it does. It's nice. I think this is something that Cade didn't Cade. I think he demonstrated this, didn't
Yes, you did.
Believe so.
he? Yeah. That's where I got the idea. But yeah, this is one of maybe hundreds you might see. It's addicting. Anyways, everybody have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Al. All right,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go to Ruby. Hey, Ruby, we got you.
Okay, something just a little different. Well, I think other people have done things along this line. It's a little lamp.
Pretty.
Oh, yeah.
This is a little bit too thick through here, in my opinion. But if I turn this lamp off, it does throw a fair amount of light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
Very nice.
And the way it's been constructed, not only does it take this little tea light, but you can also put this little lamp, which you just turn to turn on, down inside.
Mm-hmm.
So it has you can see the two holes in the center.
Oh.
The only thing is
Hand fits, your hand fits in there?
it does.
Wow.
Hey,
quite a bit brighter.
Ruby, okay, so you carved that, and like with like what we're talking about here today, this carving machine, is that how you did that? I
A
mean,
Piercing.
Dremel tool with a
piercing
with a little bit that you use for cutting holes in drywall that you pick up at the hardware store.
Okay, I know about that. All right.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's really pretty. That's
All
pretty.
right, thank you, Ruby. All right, let's go to Mr. Johnson. Hey, Dewey.
Hey, how we doing?
All right.
I guess it was a couple of weeks ago I showed everybody this thing, and I've got it. I've got all the ladies' cards. I've got all of the horses' cards, but I've got to sand. I don't know if you can see it, but you got all these little
Else?
places, little areas in between here. I got to sand all of those. And I've got a system to do it, but I just haven't been able to get around to doing it yet. But anyway, I told everybody I'd give them an update on it, and I'll be doing some painting and stuff on it here in the next few weeks. Hopefully, I'll have it done by Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I think you got so much done on it. I think you'll have it done by the 4th of July.
Well, I don't know which 4th of July it's going to be, but maybe I'll.
Well, I didn't say what year.
But anyway, that's the update. Now, I got kind of tired of working on this, so I went and turned the bowl. And so I want to show everybody the bowl I turned.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh
This-
my goodness.
Look at that.
This is a silver maple burl that I was fortunate to come across at a lumber yard. I mean, a lumber mill in Michigan back in Christmas time, and I was able to core 3 bowls out of this. This is the biggest one of the 3, and so anyway, I've got lots and lots and lots of layers of lacquer on it, and it's hard to see for sure, but I put some iridescent medium on it too. It's hard to tell with this light, the way the lights are. But let me turn this light on. Maybe it's too bright. Yeah, come on. Yeah. But anyway, it turned out pretty good. I kind of liked it. I used a lot of 60 grit sandpaper on it to get it where it is. So, but anyway, that's all I've got tonight.
That is
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Very nice, Dewey.
Yeah, it looks great.
Really?
Dude.
wow.
Anyway.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Anyway, y'all have a good night.
Good.
Thank you very much.
So many ideas. So many ideas. My goodness.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's move along to Dave Kingsley. Hey, Dave.
Howdy. Well, I decided that, of course, I didn't have a lot of time to shop this week because I celebrated my 74th birthday Saturday. And that's my shop day, so I didn't get in there much. But I had a piece of wood, and I decided that inquiring minds had to know, and I just had to know what this was going to look like. And the crack was already there,
Cool.
so I said, "What the heck?" I made a sort of bird's mouth type bowl.
Right. Looks good to me.
The
That's
This
an
wood-
awesome save.
this wood is just unbelievable.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and all it's got on it is right now I think it's up to 3 coats of oil, 4 coats, something like that. But yeah,
Very nice, Dave.
I figured I was gonna have to deal with the crack somehow. I figured why not make it a feature,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
Great.
but
Nice job.
somebody gave me it, and it's if I didn't already mention, it's Redbud.
Okay.
Somebody gave me a stump about 4 foot high and with a couple of branches off of it. And I decided, well, it's nowhere close to being dry, but I hacked off a branch, and that was reasonably dry. But that was it for this week.
All
That
right.
looks like a chopstick holder and soy sauce container all in one.
Yeah. As long as you don't try to use it for an ashtray, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, Dave. All right. Let's go to Roger. We got you, Roger.
Alrighty. Well, last week I showed this bowl
Oh,
segmented. And this is done off the same pattern of the bowl, but I used some hickory and mahogany on it.
that one kind of hurts my eyes.
It's a nice glue up you did, Roger.
Thank you.
Excellent.
That's really pretty. That is.
It kind of moves.
What?
The layers are kind of moving. I ain't drinking.
Ah,
And
Yeah.
there is a mistake in this one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you see the spacing on the right here?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, watch. And all the pieces were the exact same size.
Hmm.
I don't see it.
And what happened when I put the third row on, I left before the glue was set up and it slid.
Mm.
So
you can't tell.
I don't see it.
oh, I
As
can
the
see it.
layperson, you can't tell. You can see it because you did it.
You see there? See how close together those two are
Yeah.
Yeah.
compared to there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, once you point it out, yeah, you can see it.
But I thought I would show or make it and show it. So this is another option that I can do for level up.
Outstanding.
I
You know
will-
what you could do with that little piece that's out of place? You should stencil in a red herring.
So
And for those that know what the red herring reference means, something that's put in there to obviously look like that.
so anyway,
Very cool. I like
like
it.
I said, this was just some scrap pieces I had. So I thought I would turn it so you can see the difference in the colors. This one is 16 segments, where this is 12 segments.
Okay.
So
Just another
Nice.
proof that there is no scrap. It's just wood not turned yet.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do the bottoms? Or is that a floating bottom or
This one's a solid bottom.
solid?
I usually do a floating bottom, but this is made to a plan for like a solid bowl. And they say that a solid bowl should not have a floating bottom because of the dressing going through the cracks.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry, what does a floating bottom mean?
Well, I don't have one in here. Floating bottom, you make a ring like this here, smaller for that size, and it's grooved, and you put a solid piece in the center that's like 3/16 of an inch thick or whatever. But then you've got the segmented pieces for stability. That's just there for your bottom. The floating bottom is just there for, to have a bottom in the bowl.
Ah, I see, thank you.
It floats, so there's no cracking with expansion. Like your cupboard door.
Yeah, well, they say that you can get by with solid pieces under 3 inches. Well, this is 4.5 to the widest part. So
Got 18 months to find out.
well, that's right. Like I say, they'll both be with me.
Wait.
Very cool. Can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Roger. All right, let's go to Brenda.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I finished another urn this week. This one. This is one that it's black walnut. And remember we had talked about the crack before?
Right.
I was going to make a wave crack this time. Can you see the crack? Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Not really.
It's right here. Goes down. And then back up. Well, normally, with a wave crack like that, you'll put an opposite collar in there, to accent it. That was my intent. But my daughters didn't like that. And this urn will be their dad. So one of them will get it. And they didn't want nothing in there. So I just stuck it back together. And then the top is a pop fit. If I can get it off. You hear that?
Yes.
I could even hear it.
That's
all the way out
Brenda.
here.
That's nice.
And then my granddaughter has a 3D printer. So she printed out a chess piece.
There you go.
And I just glued that on the top. The finish is lacquer. And it'll hold about 7 cups, I think.
Cool.
That's pretty.
Looks good.
Very,
That's
very
pretty.
nice work.
Yeah,
Please
that
send
is
photos
very
into the
pretty.
newsletter.
I was
Looks great.
thinking about making maybe doing like a pictures of all of mine and like an article to go with them
Sure.
Send it in.
for the newsletter.
Yeah.
Send
Picture
it
it
in,
up, write it up.
absolutely.
What I'm working on.
Okay.
So
Threaten us with a good time.
yeah. Something that'll tell you, that they don't have to be a screw top or, I mean, every one of them I've made has got a different kind of top on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good, Brenda.
All different sizes, all different shapes. So that's it for today.
All right, that'll
Good
work.
job,
Thank
Brenda.
you,
Good
Brenda.
job.
All right, let's go to Mr. Miller. Hey, Doug. You got
Hey,
you.
boys and girls. How's everybody today? Got a couple things to show you real quick. One is a recovery piece. You'll remember this piece had it was an orange and whatnot top on it. All that got messed up, and so I sanded it all completely off. This is a chameleon powder. It's green there, but there is if I can get it just right, you might be able to see the blue. Anyway, it's green and blue. I can see it right here. It's blue as it can be when I'm looking down at the edge. But anyway, just like I said, sanded it back. Eddie has told us time and time again, we've all talked about it. If you can hold it, you can turn it. Well, I glue blocked it because there was nothing there to grab. So you can see where it kind of changed my color of the bottom just a little bit. where I put a glue block on with hot glue, and it held just fine.
Great.
So we're in finish now, and then I've got this piece that I did yesterday. It's not even hollowed yet, other than the first couple of inches, but there's some more coloring, some texturing through the center section with a spiral texturing tool, and then used embellishing wax to put the blue color. It's a bright blue embellishing wax, and then used Intrinsic Colors midnight blue top and bottom. Left a little band at the top and bottom as just delineation lines. And so as soon as that gets hollowed and finished, we'll have it up for you as well. But that's all I've been able to get done because I had shingles shot this week, and that took me under.
Well, I'll tell you what,
no.
those are
Looks
really
beautiful.
pretty, Doug. Really pretty.
Thank you.
What,
Yep.
what did you use to spiral your texture?
The Sorby mini texturing tool.
Okay.
Let's see, I've got it right here, I think. Yeah. That little jewel right there.
Yep.
This
Looks
is the
good,
little
Doug.
one.
Beautiful work.
That's just a matter of sticking it straight in and letting it do its thing and slowly moving up the piece until I got it from the section that I wanted done. It's not a
Did you
quick
do it
thing.
at
It's just
3? Did you do it at 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock? The cutter head, what direction was it sitting at?
That was 12.
it's
Oh, okay.
so it's
Yeah, about 2.
about 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere in that,
1:32.
right in that area.
Yeah.
Like I said, if my hand was the tool rest, it was sitting
Right.
straight level on the tool rest. I pushed it straight in, put a fair amount of pressure. I wasn't hossing it, but I, just
Yeah.
made sure it was engaged well, and slowly went up. This wheel was turning like crazy, but it stays in the track.
Right.
It's going to stay in a track so that you get a nice clean spiral.
How many times did you run the tool against it?
One time.
Just one time? Then
One
how
time.
fast are you? How fast? How many RPMs are you going at? 500?
About that, as I remember. I don't remember exactly, but it seems like it was about 500.
Yeah. Okay.
Ruby,
Yeah,
you
for
were there.
those
Does that sound about right? Is that what I was
Nope.
doing?
Yeah,
I
that
think it
was
was less
about
than that,
right.
Doug.
What was
I-
more
I-
important was you made a very controlled move with your hand, bringing the tool along the tool rest.
Exactly. Like I said, it was in, and it wouldn't run up and run down and run up. It was in
Clouds
and
cut.
slowly moved up, all in one time.
Yeah,
Very
I
good.
think I run mine at 750 to 800 RPMs, but it's
Yeah.
right in the
Yeah,
I run
and
mine
that's-
around anywhere from 4 to 6. Yep.
Yeah.
If you
Yep.
play
And-
with the speed, does it change the
A little.
density
Yeah.
of the spiral?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I mean, realistically, it shouldn't because you're in the groove. You're riding the tool rest with the platform, and it should
Yeah,
stay in the groove
yeah.
and cut.
Yeah,
Some of that,
it does. So if you spin up a piece at 900 or 1,000 RPMs, you'll find out you're not going to get grooves. You're just going to get a marred piece of wood.
yeah, if you go too fast, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, the speed's important. Very cool.
And a couple of folks that I've watched using the both the mini and the full size, the ones who are good with it will talk about going in at 90 degrees to the woods, going in on center, and letting the tool do the work. So many people just want to go lightly and go back and forth. If you'll do it one time, under a controlled setup, then it seems to work better. And if you want to vary the pitch, you can vary up and down a little bit, and that changes things because it gives you a different angle on that cutter.
Right.
Yeah, I also count to 4 or 5 in my head when I'm doing it before I move.
Oh, yeah.
You want it to be in the wood longer than you really think. So and it
Yeah,
gives you a good,
yeah.
nice deep groove when you do that.
Yeah, this was interesting. I was expecting to feel it, really going at it the whole time, but once it got over that initial vibrating kind of thing, and I started to move slowly, it was a smooth cut all the way up because it was cutting a little bit at a time, not digging into fresh wood all the time. It's just easily cutting that fresh wood as it came around. So it was very fun. I've done Jeff Hornick does that Moroccan blue thing. I've done one of those, and that was a hoot to do. I learned a lot doing that one. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right.
Another thing for your coloring, you do a little texture, then you color, and
right. They go
And then
hand in hand.
he was getting a lot of advice when he was coloring from everybody in the chat.
yeah, that was kind of fun. That was fun.
Yeah. Right on. All right. Thank you very much, Doug. All right. Let's
Thank you, guys.
we're gonna do one more gallery. We'll go to Mr. Hales. Hey Gary. And then after that, we're gonna swing back to Captain Eddie for a level up.
Have you got me?
Yes, sir.
I'm still muted. No, I'm
No,
not muted. Okay. I needed some barrels for my monkeys. So
there we go.
Little bottle stoppers. If I can get it. There we go. There we go. So I did practicing up for level up. They've got antiqued bands on them. The tops are cut to look like barrel tops, whatever.
Looks good. That's a neat looking project.
Then I did a cup.
Sweet.
Fun.
Look at that.
And hadn't finished. I haven't put the board lines in it yet, or put any finish on it. So still got to do it. But doggone it, I can't get the thing to.
There you go. You had it.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah. I don't know where that light's coming from. But
It looks good.
this one I'm going to coat it on the inside with black epoxy, make a drinking glass out of it.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
What kind of wood is that?
White oak.
White oak.
White oak.
And when you do your stave lines, will you burn them in or paint them on?
No, I do them with a number 2 pencil. Here's one this one doesn't have any finish on it yet. And I've just marked the stave lines in with the pencil, put the bung in. I've got a little extra glue on it. I got to sand it off a little bit. Then this has got the finish on it and the bung.
Wow.
And the bung's just a bamboo skewer.
Yeah.
You drill a 1/8 inch hole in it, and then you take a hammer and beat it to where it mushrooms out a little bit.
Right.
And the cup, I didn't get a one in it. I forgot. I was gonna have to turn a 1/4 inch poplar dowel to go in it, but the cup's a whole lot more fun to turn than these little bitty barrels. But for bottle stoppers, they look pretty cute. You stick them in a whiskey bottle, and that makes for a cute little bottle stopper.
Yeah.
Fun project.
Very nice.
Looks like it. Looking forward to it. All right. Thank you, Gary. All right, let's swing back to Captain Eddie here. We got you, Captain.
Hey, I'm here. Okay, gang, get ready for it. Get ready for it. Stand by. Level Up is on its way. Now, this club does a lot of things. We really do. I love when we get together on Wednesday nights, evenings, and talk and share all these great ideas. You saw some beautiful gallery tonight. You really did. But you haven't seen it all. Nope, you haven't seen it all. This week I was rather blessed. I as a gift, the gang or crew that I've been blessed with put together a copy of all the newsletters from 2024 for me. And it's what you call a coffee table book, put out and, just to sit and look at. I'm wearing it out. I really am. I'm going through it and I'm looking at fantastic photographs and articles and pieces and bits. And like Brenda said, she wants to do this and write an article. I'm loving this stuff, folks. And then I'm realizing there's no place in the entire world besides Worldwide Woodturners that I can get this. It just doesn't exist. You made this happen. So we have a great gang of people that get together on Wednesday nights. We talk wood turning and only wood turning. We don't sell anything. We don't have an agenda for that. And then we look at the art that our people develop, and we talk techniques and designs and everything else. We solve problems for members. If we can, we help them out with it. And maybe if it doesn't work here, we get in touch with them after the meeting and we talk with them then. We do that and publish the newsletter. But then this gang or crew that I'm blessed with, this team, let's call it a team, okay? Because team's important here. Team got together and decided we need to do something sort of like a symposium. And you catch it, I said sort of like a symposium. It's not really a symposium. It's a gathering of the wood turners for the basis of wood turning. And I don't think we can call it anything else than that. It's a gathering of wood turners. We're getting together in September 2026. That's right, that's almost 18 months away. And we're gathering in Wisconsin Falls, Wisconsin. And we're getting together in, yeah, I got that right. Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. I got to keep looking at the cheat sheet. Oh, the cheat sheet? Oh, there it is right there. That is, and well, it's supposed to, you're supposed to read it. But the new poster, we put that out, we update it as it comes along. But that is the guidance or the living a teaser idea of what's happening. And today we got to edit it. Yeah, we got to make some changes, some adjustments, some takes, some gives, and all that. But guess what? The Duxburys are on. That's right. They're right here. There's Jim Duxbury and Rita Duxbury. Now, if you never had fun at a symposium, you haven't been the one with the Duxburys. It's fun and educational. But that's just a taste of what we have. I mean, Jerry Hales will be there, Matt Harbour, Joaquin, Dean Grimes, Cade, Billy Burt. Billy's going to cruise around someplace down there right now. Roger, a whole bunch of other folks. I can read off all the names, but you can too. But this is that we locking down some hotel reservations for you. So help you out with it. That's all available on what? Where's it available? The world's greatest wood turning website. Got no harm saying that because it's true. Worldwidewoodturners.org. It should be your only resource for wood turning in this world because that's where everything goes. David Rose puts this together for us. He manages it. It's so up to date. I sent out the revised poster today, and pow, it's up there. I mean, Dave, don't you work or anything? Come on. It's that current. And you can't get that kind of service anywhere. Yeah, but I can tell you why you get it, because we love it. We do it because we love it. We're doing this entire thing because it's the love of wood turning. It never existed before, not to this tune. And it's not blowing up anybody. It's not putting anybody on a hill. We don't have any hierarchy. And you'll see that in the demonstrations we do. We invite everybody to demonstrate. We want to see what you can do. We never say, oh, you blew that or whatever. And if you do it, we do a recovery. That's it. And if you get a wound, we got somebody to take care of that. And we cover it all. But Level Up is not a one-time event. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. It really is. You got to make plans to go there. The whole thing's setting up. Tools, gallery, friends, everybody together. Your tuition, it's a team thing. Your coaches will teach these pods. We have 23 operating lathes that we'll use for demonstrations. Yeah, get that. This is not 6 lathes in 6 rooms. This is 23 lathes in strategic locations with strategic teachers, coaches, and assistant coaches. That's right. Coaches and assistant coaches. Hands-on training in classes with the lathe and tools. You're not sitting in the back watching a slideshow about this guy's shop and how his desk collection system works and why you need to plug into the 220 and turn a cord over and all that. No, that's not going to happen here. This is where you get the basics of wood turning and fine tune your basics of wood turning. That's what's going to happen at Level Up. It's a fantastic opportunity to grow and grow with your friends. And we got a couple of questions about that, about you growing with your friends, because we need to know if you bring in some friends, how many desserts I think it's how many desserts do we have to provide for? So, all right. But that's coming up, Level Up. But don't forget, the Phases of Worldwide Wood Turners. We have this weekly meeting, which is stored on the world's greatest website, worldwidewoodturners.org. We have the newsletter, which is by far the only one like it ever produced. And I think I'm safe in saying that. You see, everybody else has done this, has done it for the buck. We've done it for the heart. We've done it because we love it. And it's amazing. Every time we want to do something, you step up and say, can we? Can I help? Can you get along? Let me hold your hand. Get you across the street. That's what I get. And that's what I love. You see, a harebrained idea, you made it work. Don't ever look at a harebrained idea without thinking. A little bit of faith, you can make it click.
Yes.
Dane, you got a couple of things this evening, and I think we're going to talk to somebody about what they're going to do at Level Up. Who you got on the table tonight?
Let's see. Let me highlight myself.
Yeah, get in here.
Know how to highlight everybody else. They seem to have problems. It's funny. It's weird. I should have put it on multi-speak. That's what I should have done. That's okay. So, as we know, we've got the tuition fee set up for $160 for an individual that wants to come and sign up for, the 3-day event. But we've also now established if we have a turning couple, it's going to be $300, so a little bit of a discount for a couple. And then if we have folks that are only going to be able to make it for a single day, we've established pricing at $80 for a single day. And we have also established +1 pricing for off-lathe projects only for $80. So if somebody wants to come and they just want to paint and learn how to embellish or do pyro, so hanging out in those stations would only be $80. And then there was a question about those that are just there to support the turning member, and just waiting for evening chow. That charge is going to be $15 an evening for the evening chow. And so, past couple meetings, we had various questions wanting to know what those pricings were going to be for the +1s and or the single day or just for a food charge. You asked and we got on it and we figured it out, and making it super affordable. And then also,
making it simpler you broke it out, and all that's going to be on our website, correct?
Oh yes, we're going to have it on the website, and I'm going to get it put on the Facebook group page and keep that as a recurring post. And then we've also got the hotels. One of the hotels locked out for 50 rooms. So with that, I'm going to span over to Scott Tigg to discuss the hotel situation. So Scott, what you got on that? Nope, you're muted.
We have the Hotel Mead set aside here in Wisconsin Rapids. It's hotelmead.com. Let them know that you're with Level Up. That's the group name. If you would happen to need a handicap accessible room, let them know that at the time of registration, and the cost of the rooms are $130 a night, guaranteed for the event.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a great rate.
You're
And
not kidding.
then doesn't the hotel have some amenities?
Yeah, it has a small restaurant in it, and it also has a small lounge bar type area. It's just been recently remodeled, so I don't know exactly all the things they do in there, but it's a small gathering place for people. They also have a fully heated indoor pool.
That is the closest one to the event.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes.
10 minutes. It's pretty close.
All the
there are-
hotels
there-
are within 10 minutes of the event. It doesn't really matter which one you stay at.
There's about 6 or 8 of them that are all about the same distance away.
Yeah, they're all pretty much in the same place. There's some downtown things to do there too. There's a microbrewery just down the street from the hotel. There's a few bar, pub type places too in that area. There's some antique stores. I mean, there's other things to do. It's close to the walking and biking trail that goes up and down both sides of our river that cuts our city in half. So there's plenty of things to do if you want to do things other than the event themselves for spouses or kids or whatever.
Or the day before, the day after.
Or the day before, the day after. Yep.
Great job, Scott.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Good job, Scott.
And then for some of the other information, just different question, about, stuff to do in the locale there. We're working on that. And we'll have Scott will pull a bunch of information together on that, and we'll get it out there to the masses, later on. But at the moment, we're just working on the current format and setups and everything. So, neat stuff to do. Google is your friend. There's lots of stuff to do up there.
There's also Airbnbs that are on the river and in historic buildings in town, historic houses that can be rented. So check out Airbnb, Vervo, and all those other sites are that you can do that kind of stuff. So don't forget to check those out as well. Might be a way for a group of people to split the cost of staying. Instead of staying in a hotel, you could stay in a house,
Right.
And if you get hungry, the Spam Museum's not too far away, and they give you snacks.
Right. And then I also think the rooms are double queen beds, so a person.
Yep. All the rooms are double
up.
queen beds, so you could bunch up on the rooms too if you so choose.
So, all right. So with that, let me swing over to JJ and see if I can. I'm throwing him on the cold spot here. Oh, he doesn't have his camera. No, now he does. He's going to give a top view down of what he may or may not be doing.
So I'm going to be doing lidded box techniques. We're going to talk about design. We're going to talk about things like grain match. We've all seen this piece, but we're not going to just limit it to an end grain box. We're going to talk about cross grain. We're going to talk about lid fit and why cross grain can be a challenge. Because if you turn a cross grain box and it's different species and you match the grain, it'll open in one direction, but you can't close it or open it in the other direction. So there's some things that we can talk about design wise, and then we'll get into technique and we'll get into some actual skilled turning. And we have the option, because we have all these great off lathe projects, we have the option of taking the boxes that we turn and then going to one of the embellishing classes or the carving classes and doing more at that point. So we'll cover a lot of this. We'll cover some design discussions. We'll cover purpose. Is it something I literally turned this box simply to demonstrate grain matching for the newsletter, and it turned out to be a really fabulous box, and it's fantastic. But I can take this box and tear it apart in about six different ways and tell you how the next one will be different. And so that's the kind of things that we're going to discuss during my session.
Outstanding. That sounds like a great class. Look forward to more details to come out on it. All right. Well, with that, go ahead.
So if you're one of our coaches and you're doing a presentation for Level Up, give me a brief rundown of who you are and what you're doing. Roger Wolam sent me some information on what he's going to be doing with some photos. That's going to be on the last page of the upcoming newsletter next week with the Level Up poster. So you know that page is all about Level Up. I'd like to see each coach giving me the same thing so that they can have a page in a newsletter. And again, that's just to let everybody know, hey, this is what I'm teaching. This is what I'm teaching. So please, if you are one of our coaches, think about that. Getting me some photos and a brief description does not have to be in depth. It can be a couple of photos, introduction of who you are, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with you at Level Up.
Hey, Joaquin.
Yes.
I do PDFs. I do PowerPoints for my presentations, and I print them out I save them as PDFs also, and I have those online. Can I just send you an email with links to the various PDFs for the classes I'm going to be doing?
Let's talk about that offline.
Okay.
I think that might be more in depth than what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but you're welcome to pick and choose the pictures from those you want. That's what I'm saying.
The problem is taking it out of a PDF. We run into quality issues.
Understood.
So we'll chat about that offline.
Solution issues. Got it.
And if you've seen the newsletter, quality issue doesn't exist. We have a good newsletter.
That we do. All right.
Well, grade it up there, Matt.
Yeah, right. Okay. So with that, I did have another thought that I was going to share, but it escapes me at the moment. If I think of it, I'll pop in later on. But with that, let's go get our safety moment on.
1 second, Dane. I know what you were thinking. I think if anybody's coming to the event and wants to help us out with getting some more lays, that would be greatly appreciated. We're also looking for a few more grinders. If you're driving to the event and you've got a mini lathe or a grinder that you could let us borrow for the event, it would be much appreciated. You can send it to Level Up to the email page, or Dane or Billy or anybody else that's on the committees, and we'll make sure that we get the information from you, contact you, or whatever needs to be done. So
I'll throw the email in the chat.
Yeah, I've got a lathe I just purchased. I'm going to go through it, check out the belt and everything, make sure it's up to working condition, so nothing breaks down on it. And I'll
already put you down.
I'll be bringing that.
Put you down.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to get it right.
That's right.
I appreciate that, Dan. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, so with that, let's spin over and get our safety moment so we can get to our demo, because it's sub-zero weather up there for our demonstrator, and I want to get him out of the shop as soon as possible. Hey, Sue.
Hi, guys and ladies. I'm going to let me get my glass out of the way. I want to talk about our hands and what we do with them when we're working with machines. We all know on the table saw to use push sticks on our pieces, especially if the piece is less than 3 inches wide. You don't want your fingers around that blade at all. But we've talked about that. The same holds true with the bandsaw. If it's too thin, I've seen people use pencils with erasers on them to gently put it through on the blade for the bandsaw. But I want to talk about the lathe. We know that we're supposed to have our tool on the tool rest. And that tool rest normally has your hand on the tool. To keep it tight to the rest, but not so tight that you're going to do any torque. Come on, guys, just hold your hand over it. Or if you're going to use your thumb, that's fine too. But how many people have just put your lathe and you thought, I'm sorry, you just put your tool down, you thought you were getting it on the tool rest and you miss, and it grabs the object, and either the tool flies out of your hand or you get the major check from hell. Also, it could also scrape you up big time, especially since we all want to have really sharp tools. So I also want to talk about where we put our hands when we're drilling. Yes, we know that the drills are going to come from the tailstock and it's going to your piece, whether it be a brad point or a Forstner bit or an acrylic drill. We all have to hold down, not scrunch it down, but you need to hold on to your not a colic. What is it, you guys? Your drill. I have a
chuck.
Thank you. I have a keyless drill chuck, and
Yeah.
nothing worse if that thing starts rattling out of your tail, or as sometimes when you're turning, the chuck can loosen a little bit, and all of a sudden you've got a rotating drill in front of you. And that's one of the reasons why you're holding down the drill chuck. So folks, be careful this week. Watch where you put your hands. We want all our fingers to come back next week. So anyways, take care. Have a great night. I'm signing off now. I have another meeting, but take care, you
All right,
guys.
Steve.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
You.
All right. And then so with that, I just remembered what it was I was aiming to do. So I have a poll question that I would like everybody to participate in here. So without further ado, it should be popping up on your screen. I think you're required for yes and no votes or maybes. And we'll give it a few minutes here to get about 84 votes in.
Do not press end poll. Anybody on there right now, do not press end poll.
Or we'll do it again.
You're getting more response than we did in chat the last time you asked.
Yeah. Well, I also made it a requirement that in order to get rid of it, you gotta answer it.
Oh, that's dirty.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a true poll now, would it be? It's not your regular media poll.
Okay, I'm having an issue. It's not allowing me to vote.
You're a co-host.
Oh, I know why. Never mind.
Co-host,
Sorry.
Co-host can't vote.
Sorry.
But don't press end.
I don't understand. It came up and I hit my vote and it went through. So
yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to do.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't understand what everybody's talking about.
Okay, don't worry about it.
You're okay, Al. You're okay, Al.
Okay, all right, there you go.
For folks locked on as a co-host, you may not be able to vote, but don't get upset. Don't turn us off. It's nothing. Well, we don't want to say it's personal. Okay. Just need to know how you feel about this.
Oh, we got 84 people on and we got 57 votes.
Well, just remember the co-host can't vote. So at some point,
the co-hosts.
Right. So add 10. So there's 20 people that's refusing to partake. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there is a maybe button.
Well, no, I'm counting them all.
Well, no, I'm saying everybody can vote. Come on.
Yep.
There is, yes, no, or maybe.
There is no name
not
attached.
October.
Everything is anonymous. It's just a poll.
Yeah, Brenda, Level Up is in September, not October.
Yeah, I seen that.
All right.
What if she runs late?
I've still going to be there in October. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome to stay through October. You get to see all the color changes and everything.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think.
well, that like everybody, what everyone's saying, but a year and a half from now, I mean, I'm saying yes now. Now, I mean, will I be around a year and a half from now?
Well, we
Uh,
understand that, yeah, but you know, if the creek don't rise and the river don't dry
Right, of
out,
course
you know,
not.
I mean,
But I'm just saying that's why you're not getting a lot of if you're saying you're missing
no,
10.
that ain't the reason why. You got yes, no, maybe, and then you got the abstainers. So is
Well,
what it is.
some of them ain't got their video on. They may not even be watching.
Yeah.
You know.
True.
Okay, it's like walking up to somebody laying in distress. You want to check their pulse. So we're doing is checking a pulse. That's all.
All right.
Charles asleep.
Registration will open this spring for the person that asked in the chat.
Way to go, Heather. Look, Heather's even at work and she voted.
I know, right? Thank you, Heather. All right.
I think
Here's
it's
our
on
results.
break and we do all day.
All right, so now you can see it. We got 18 confirmed. We got 17 that gave a hard no, and we got 28 hard maybes. So I'll take it. Whatever. All right. Thank you all for participating. We'll do this again next week. All right, so with that, let's go to the cold north of Michigan. We have Mr. Matt Harbor doing our demonstration for the evening.
Knowing
Matt's going to be Matt's demonstration. Matt's going to turn it the way he turns it. You may do it differently in your shop compared to what he does. So we'll keep our questions and comments till the end of the demo. And should Matt sequester questions and comments while he's turning, that's fine. Otherwise, I will be watching the chat to take down any questions.
I won't be able. Questions are welcome at any point. I will not be able to see the chat during the demo.
Right. So I will take care of that for you.
Yep, I've got an snowstorm and ice storm on the way tonight, and we've been warned by Xfinity that and my internet connection has been a little unstable tonight. So nothing I can do about that.
No worries.
Just be advised.
All right, it's on you, Matt. Thank you.
All right. Do you want to take the? I still see the poll up. Do you want to take that off or?
I canceled the poll.
I had to click mine off myself.
Yeah.
Mute everybody.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and mute everybody. And then Matt, just unmute yourself.
You're doing,
and I'm back. And I got you.
Yeah, that didn't come through. All right.
Are you still seeing it?
All right. Maybe this will. What's that?
Are you still seeing the poll?
No, I'm not seeing it anymore. I switched over.
Oh, okay, good.
All right. So, this is a lidded box demo tonight. This is my contact information. What I've got here in this, and I'll send this to Dave. But what I've got here is the basic instructions. I'm going to be altering it along on the fly while I'm doing this, but we're going to start with this, and
your audio is breaking up, Matt.
I'm going to turn it, and then
your audio is breaking up, Matt.
Yeah, I've got no way to change it. I've eliminated all the resources I can eliminate. So
I think it's I think it's your spreadsheet or your PDF that's draining it.
Well, it's a combination of Zoom and vMix, and my resources are not doing well tonight. So, like I said, I'll switch off of this soon, and maybe that'll change it. But bottom line here is that I'm going to put a 10 on both ends. I'm going to separate it in the middle. One side's going to be the top, the lid, and one side's going to be the bottom. And I'm going to turn a tenon when I do that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me switch to here, and we're going to. And there's my little worldwide wood turners.
Hey, how about that?
So you know where you are. Okay. So all the boxes I'm going to show tonight, this piece of wood is end grain. The boxes I show tonight are also going to be end grain, and they're matched. So like this one here, the pith is here. And you can see that the grain is matched there. So, okay, it's got some burn lines in it and a burn line to disguise where the lid is. Basic box, and the tenon is here. And so this one is also in. The reasons why I love making end grain boxes is because you can grain match the walnut and get the heartwood, and cherry and walnut are really good. And walnut is fun wood to do because you can use things like liming wax in your groove and design. Okay, so we're going to turn a box that looks like this. This is a little bit different in it's a shallower box. It's turned in 3 pieces. It's got a tenon that's turned separately, or a finial that's turned separately. And it's got on the design here, there's an ogee in the lid. So I've got an ogee that scoops this way and then coves this way and then convexes into a bead to the top. Okay. Again, it's got a little bit of a texturing tool on here, and the base is just like this. And this is end grain also. This is not sanded. This is tool finish. The pith is right here. The pith is in this piece of wood. So, you know, when I get some finish on it, it'll be pretty. And it's a little bit interesting. But this is the box I'm going to turn tonight, and that's the general idea. Questions on this so far?
No.
Okay. So, piece of wood on the lathe. I'm going to be using my deep bowl gouge for a lot of this. So the first step is to make it round. And it should be pretty round already. So I've got a 10, and I turned a 10 in here to save time. And I'm going to true it up. I turn the lid on this side so that I can leave it in the chuck, and it saves a step or two. So I'm going to come in with the parting tool, and I'm going to start making where my lid is going to separate. Now I'm going to have some waste on the bottom of the bottom, and I'm going to have some room here in the top. So about there is about right. Okay, so I've left myself ample room in here to make my walls thinner and to join things if I want to. So this is going to be my tenon. This section here is going to be the tenon that goes inside the piece. So if you look at this, that's this bit here. Okay.
Okay.
Here, switch back. It's not going. That's switching over here. Sorry, guys. We have tech issues.
No, that's okay, Matt.
All right, we'll see if this works. Okay. So, and then I'm going to part it off at the bottom of this tenon here. lid from popping out. And you've got to make sure you've got enough room. It's getting kind of warm. Oh, so my tool just got bound up and thrown. So
Oh no.
I'll have to find it after the demo. It's a shame because I use that tool a lot. A demoitis today, so
Ah, you're using the word.
yeah, it's happening. Okay. All right, so there's my bottom. It's got a tenon on it, and this is going to be my lid. Questions so far? Okay,
No,
so
nothing so far.
the step that I didn't hear that, Dane.
No, it's all good. Nothing.
Okay, so let's go check here on the spreadsheet. I'm on step 5 here. I've separated the lid from the box bottom, and I've turned the tenon on the lid, and I made room. Okay, so let me go back over here, and so on a box where you want to put a knob on, then you would leave more room here. Okay, so that you could have room for the knob. Now, at some point, I could still put a knob on here. I'm not going to, but I could still put a knob on here, and because that this is part of the knob. But make sure that that's on the note here. Why that's there. So step 5B here is be sure to leave room for a knob. And then 5C is a note on grain matching if you use the thinner parting tool. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do here is, oh man. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to true up the bottom of this. And I'm going to do one of the first things that we have to remind ourselves to do is get my tailstock out of the way and remove my live center out of my tailstock so that I don't get turner's elbow, which when you leave something sharp and pointy in your tailstock and it hits you in the elbow. So what I'm going to stop that is I'm going to and then I'm going to use the deep fluted bowl gouge, and I'm going to hollow this a bit, and I'm going to come across it like this. And this cut is not close to the center, like that, and it's certainly in between, it's 45 degrees. This gets me a shearing cut. And I can take it all the way across. And use a pull scrape to get things cleaned up. And if I want to sand, I can. I'm going to use Zorby spiraling and texturing tool, one of the spiraling wheels. Okay. And the spiraling wheel has got a bevel on one side. Let's see if I can show that. Yep, bevel on one side. And the way you do that is you make sure the wheel can spin freely. An angle, and I'm going to move it so the teeth are on the beveled side. The teeth move into the wood like that. And then I'm just going to pull it and rotate it, pull it out to the outside. Okay. I get it moving. It's in the wood. Let's see what I got. I like it. Okay. Demoitis. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that yet. See it pretty. If I want to colorize that, Sharpie, I don't know.
Go ahead.
It's this purple. The Sharpie, it's this color. And I'm going to make sure that the first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some shavings and burnish this a little bit. To get some shavings. Floor here. Then I'm going to get my Sharpie here. Get my lathe going here, and I'm just going to get the Sharpie so it's getting the top of the texture. And there's my texture. Okay?
Very good.
Very visible. I like it. You know what? I'm going to put a little bit of a, I'm going to add a little bit of a side of it.
Nice
Highlight it
border.
all. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. So now I'm going to go back here. Now, what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to put the first thing. So I don't know if you guys can actually see this, but this texture is coming down to the tenon to give us sort of a pagoda roof looking thing. And that's my goal here. So I'm going to put that bit in first, take that down to the tenon that goes into the top of the box. And then I'm going to start my OG here on this side here. I can finish it up after I get it. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this after you've sized the bottom, you're going to put the lid in and tape it and finish the top while it's taped with blue duct tape or blue paper into the lathe. And you're going to use tailstock support as long as you can. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put that of the lip there in first, and then I'm going to put the OG in on the top of the lid. Ball gouge, but you could do this with a spindle gouge or even a skew. And if you wanted to sand it, you could sand it. So I'm gonna get the corner of this tenon with a little bit of sandpaper. All right. And now I'm gonna come back on the other side and put in the little OG here. If you were ambidextrous or could turn left-handed, this would be a great place for that. The top of my piece to do Hit it with a little good. General principle. Okay. So this is the other half of the piece of wood that I parted off in the beginning. I don't know what. This is a shear. I'm riding the bevel at a steep angle, and I'm going to clean up this because I don't necessarily want that. Switch to this view here. Does it do that? That's some audio issues. Lots of demoitis going on. All right. Now, when I do this, I'm going to be test fitting this lid. So it's that is about there. And that's good to have. You want to creep up on it. So you can hollow with impunity the stuff inside that. Again, I don't have a lot of wood here, so the bowl is going to be kind of shallow, but you're going to have enough so that your tenon will fit in there. But the goal is to creep up on that dimension and then test fit it so it fits fairly snugly. So I'm going to use the same cut that I used on the lid. Start on the tool rest, bring it up to the wood. Turn your lathe off when you change your tool rest. Okay, so we're gonna make another cut across the bottom here, and then we're gonna do some test fitting. Okay, see how we are with the test fitting. Questions so far? All right, I got some
Doing
ways
good,
to
Matt.
go here. Okay,
Doing
thanks,
good.
Dane. Nobody's saying anything, so I don't know if I put everybody to sleep yet or not.
No, everybody is glued to the screen.
If I drop the tool handle, edge of the tool, I get a much cleaner cut. Between your headstock, your center, and your lathe bed to do that. Back a little bit here. I'm going to clean up that rim. It's a little mucky. So we're going to clean up the rim a little bit. And I've got to make a little more room for myself here. Or you guys remember that Cheech and Chong movie? We were talking a little bit more for Santa Claus, a little bit more for Santa Claus. Magic Dust.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I ever watched Cheech and Chong.
I wasn't
Not
in
my
college,
not my
people would
cup of
quote
tea.
it, so you learned it.
Yeah.
We're very close. Okay. So one of the things you can do is you can come in here with like a parting tool or a skew, uh, and change the shape of your, take a little bit more here. Now I tend to come in here with a little bit of a bevel. And the reason I do that is so that my tenon is pretty straight. But if I come in with a bevel, show that what that looks like here. So I'm almost there. It's out a little bit more. So it needs to be just a little bit bigger. Make another pass with that cut.
Flip the camera.
Thank you, Dane.
You're welcome.
So I'm not taking much with these cuts. Just a little bit more. Very light cuts. Now my next step is to I'm going to clean up the top of this. So this one. Okay. And I am going to just for the sake of, because I can't, a corded you guys have seen. And I sand with it. And this is a self-made pad. And I cut the sanding discs out of big rolls, and I just turn the lathe on. With sand the inside. Sanding discs. Just because I get a really crappy inside there. I got tool marks. Could be a lot better.
Well, it is cold there, so.
Yeah, and I'm hurrying. Generate. Okay.
That's the reason why your tool froze up on you. The friction with the wood and the
That
coldness of
stuff
the
all
bar
died in
steel.
the last couple of weeks too. So. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start turning for the bottom. So let me switch over to this, or the third page here. So weirdness going on here. Okay, so we've done steps 6 and 7, and we've done step 8. And now we're going to do step 9. And step 9 is put the lid into the box, matching the grain, and bring up tailstock support. Okay? So that's the next step. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grain match the two of them. Kind of issues. Okay. So stop. So still I've got it. Where is that where I want it? Is that? No, I think it's here. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm matching the grain on the side here. All right. And making sure that the now I'm not doing this on this piece, but on a piece like this or like this, do if I was making a piece like this at this point is bringing the tailstock support up is I will make sure that with cuts I will make sure that this surface is clean across the joint. Okay, are there questions about that? Does that make sense? Okay, but I'm not doing that on this piece, but I still want to do as much as I can on the so I'm going to work on that now. Okay.
All right.
So I've got the OG that's partially there, and I want to put the rest of it in and come across the top. Okay. So I get my tool rest positioned appropriately. It's my deep fluted bowl gouge, and I begin turning. Now, I've got this section in the middle here that I've got to eliminate. So my OG, just the concave part of this is going to change. I'm reducing it. The hardest part of any OG is managing the transition well. So I tend to do it with a scraping cut, a scraping shear, if you will. All right, that's about what I wanted. Okay, so now I'm going to take away tailstock support. So I've got to tape this. So I'm going to get out my masking tape. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Never a dull moment, eh? To the bottom. And what this will do is this will hold it in place while I finish the last bit of it. Now, what I'm going to do, and this is not on my little documentation, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a 1/4-inch drill to drill out the hole for my tenon for my finial. Okay? So on this one, little hole, 1/4-inch hole, and a 1/4-inch tenon on the bottom of my finial. Okay?
Okay.
Do that. So in order to do that, I clearly have to pull away tailstock support, and I have to put a 1/4-inch drill bit in there. So we're going to do that. Jacob's chuck, 1/4-inch drill bit. Need to be very deep. Well, I'm gonna take that bit off, so it's gonna need to be deeper than that, I think. Okay. Take this section off of it, so I'll drill it in a little deeper just to be sure. All right. Any questions so far on any of this?
No. Clear as day. You're doing a good job.
Take that out so it doesn't jab me in the elbow again. All right. Now, the only thing holding the I want to make sure that I take very light cuts. I'm gonna do it. So and creep up on it.
Nice clean shavings.
I'm riding the bevel riding shearing cuts. You know you're doing it right when the shavings are right, you know?
Yep.
All right, and I think I'm gonna need to go a little deeper on the hole. We'll put that back in and go in a little deeper. Just out of general principle. All right, it's deeper than I thought it was. Okay, all right, that's all good. Never hurts to be sure, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. So this point, all right. So the lid is pretty much done. So at this point, you get the this part always takes too long. At least the tape is on here good, right?
Yeah, amen.
Once I get the tape off, there's the lid. All right. Okay. So, okay, so what's left now is finish the bottom of the bowl of the box. So, I want to make sure is that I don't funnel it. So, I've got about so, and there are various and sundry depth gauges you can use. I tend to just use my finger. So, here's where my bottom is.
Yeah.
So, now what I want to do with the bottom is like on this other piece is this is basically just a bowl, but I want to have a nice contour, and I like having feet on the bottom, and the bottom is slightly concave so it fits on the rim and doesn't wobble on the table. So those are my criteria for this. I can begin just making a bowl here. There's a couple ways to do this. And let's see, a burn line in here, got a little groove for it. Come in here with, turn your lathe up in here with your burn wire. Little sanding. Bit. Got Okay. Now, I'm going to go digging for my tool here. I want to use it again. So it's in here. I know this is one of my favorite shop tools for you, Dane. I get
Yes,
stuff
yes,
from,
the grabber stick.
yep, get my stuff from under the lathe tool.
It made an appearance.
So looks like this.
Right? That's handy.
Contoured handle.
Nothing wrong with that. Not at all.
Oh, it's in the shavings here somewhere. I go digging
No,
for
it'll
it.
be right where it landed.
No, sorry, guys. I saw.
No, it's all good. Like the term we coined, demoitis, it happens.
Never had that happen to a tool before. So, all right, what can we use here? All right. All right, thin parting tool. So, extra room so that the tool doesn't bind and the lathe doesn't take the tool out of the handle like my other one. So, and I this a little bit too. So that means coming in at a slight cutting tool. And you've got to, make a relief cut so it fits in here and so on. And clean on. And I think I'm just going to cut it free.
Hey, Matt, it may be over by the logs to your right, underneath your tailstock.
Sorry, Dane, could you repeat that, please?
There's a perception that it may be over by the logs on the right-hand side.
Let me switch over here and see if this changes, and maybe I can hear you a little better. All right, try it again, Dane.
Okay, it may have bounced underneath the logs on the right-hand side, underneath your tailstock side.
What's that?
Your tool, it may be down by the logs there on your right-hand side.
I think that it was here. I see that when I tried to pull it, it went that way under the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's. I don't think it made it past the. It made it past the mats. So I think it's right here. But that's okay. I'll find it. No, not important. Okay. Yeah, I can probably pick it up with the magnet. So tape off of the rest of the thing here. So all that's left now is to make the there's if I can find a spot where the tape isn't. All I gotta do or the finial on the end there. Okay. So got one of these thingies. that goes in my Novichok here. You guys know that I make a lot of finials.
No, we didn't know that.
Yeah. Is a little different than a finial than an icicle ornament or something like that. So, I don't need that big of a piece of wood. This is just scrap box elder from the shop. I use the skew to make my tenons because the tip of the skew lets you get into this corner here and clean it up really well. So that's why I use that. I got these and I love these. So very useful. The finial I turned on this piece is vastly different than some of the icicle finials. Just has to be something that lets you pick the lid up. And frankly, having something really delicate doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but having something kind of robust to use as a handle makes a lot more sense. So that's what we're going to turn here. Just out of the way. Tool rests in better shape. A little smaller here. I'm going to use a detail gouge. Big, make it smaller. Of course, you can refine these shapes with sanding or with a skew or something. So, come in here with the parting tool. A little big, make it a little smaller. Okay. So I'm going to pagoda eyes this a little bit too. Okay, so next bit is a little 1/4-inch tenon tool here, which is the 1/4-inch wrench I got from my corner pawn shop to serve as my measuring device. Pull it in, just has to fit in the hole. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Nope. So, and it's not modified in any way. I haven't sharpened the corners or anything. It's just a 1/4-inch wrench. All right, there we go. So I tend to take a little bit extra off just in case. Okay. Just sand it, I guess. Okay. So there's my finial. I'll get the tape off of here. And it needs a little sanding on the bottom. That's the general idea. There's my box, my lidded box, with the little pagoda lid and a little different finish. Box. And there you go. Questions, comments,
All right,
advice.
folks. Floor is open. Questions and comments.
Nice
Yeah.
job.
Okay, Matt, when you did the texturing on the inside there, you went in
Yes, sir.
with your tool at a slight angle, got it spinning. Did you just pull it straight out, or did you kind of arch it as you brought it out to get that design?
I was pulling it out. So it was in there at a slight angle.
Yeah.
And then as I moved further out, I rolled the tool. I changed the tool. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So in and okay, let me see if it shows better here. Oh, let's switch. Hang on, guys. Here. Okay. Oh, I got dang audio. Okay. So okay. Kind of steep, but then as I pulled it out, I rolled the tool a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So used to do this. You could go in straight and just pull it straight out. You could go in above center and pull it straight out. There's a lot of different ways. I got an interesting sort of little star deal in the middle there by doing what I did. So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little sort of a 5 or 6 pointed star in the middle there. It's kind of interesting.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you for the question. That's a good question.
Hey, Matt, also on the texturing, you said to approach the wood with the bevel side of the wheel. What if you use the other side of the wheel? What would happen?
Let me switch. I'm sorry. Let me switch back over to the Zoom thing and answer that. Please repeat the question.
On your texturing, you said to approach the wood with the bevel side of the wheel. What would
Yes.
happen if you used the other side of the wheel? Would you get a different design, or would it create a catch?
It wouldn't necessarily create a catch if you're very careful about how you went into it, but it's more likely to tear the wood up. Okay, so on the spiraling wheels, you're supposed to go bevel side. The teeth, the cutting bit is where the bevel meets the top of the teeth. Okay.
Okay.
So if you read the instructions, and I read directions, so you're supposed to go in and push the tool at the top of the teeth on the bevel side. And one of the things to sharpen it is you take a honing card or a stone or whatever, and you sharpen it on the bevel. Okay. So that makes sense, right? If you're sharpening it, the tool starts to get dull and you're sharpening it on the bevel, then your cutting bits are where the bevel meets the top of the teeth. Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. And when I buy this tool, it comes with like some teeth, some wheels have less teeth and some wheels have more teeth. I think this is the middle one. Okay. But there's one with a lot of teeth that makes some very fine spirals. Okay. And it also comes with a texturing wheel, which is beveled on both sides. It's designed to be just stuck right into the piece of wood without any, further ado.
Thank you.
Yep. There's a really good video out there on how to create textures with this tool by Nick Agar, A-G-A-R. So if you have this tool and you don't know how to use it, I strongly recommend searching Sorby Nick Agar on YouTube. There's a video. He's got at least 2 videos up there that are very good on how to use this tool.
Right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yep.
And we have
Hey,
one
Matt.
of our members from across the pond over in England, Chris Parker, who does some excellent work with the spiraling tool. And he's done a demo for us probably 3-4 years ago. But he's another one to look up and see some of the amazing work that he does with the spiraling tool. That looks good, Matt. Hold it up again.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I like the contours and I like the design. I'm pretty happy with that. And I must say that this design, there was a guy in my local wood turning club, Steve White, came in with a bunch of them that were kind of similar. And I really liked his design, so I've started exploring them a lot. And I like the OG on the lid a lot. I think it adds a lot to the quality of the piece.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
See? Yes, sir.
Very enjoyable evening. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Very enjoyable.
Al, questions for me, Al, about anything I did?
Well
Very
done,
enjoyable.
Matt. Very good. Thank you.
When you were texturing, what speed were you at?
I was at 800 RPM, 795 or something like that.
Say again.
795.
Okay.
So roughly 800 RPM. And like in our previous discussion, I get decent textures up to 1,000 RPM. Part of it's like anything, right? We're told to let the tool edge do the cutting and have patience. Same thing is true with this tool. Have patience. Don't try to moose it. Don't go too fast. Just let the tool do it. And in our discussion with Doug earlier, same sort of questions came up. Just let the tool on the wood. The longer you leave the tool in one place, the deeper your texture is going to be.
Absolutely. And the cleaner.
Yep. Yeah, and the cleaner. Right. Yep.
Matt, can you pull out your tenon and recess gauge that you use and talk about that there? That's always a
little thing.
It always gets a little bit of attention.
Yeah. So this is number 3. Okay. And there's a reason why it's orange is because 1 and 2 got lost in the shavings. I did eventually find the second one, and it's also has a brightly colored. Okay. So let me switch back over to here. So this resides on my tailstock quill. That's what the big hole is for. Okay. So the first groove here is minimum tenon size. So if I put this in my chuck and I tighten it down, first groove, that's my minimum tenon size. Okay. The second one, the outer ring, the larger ring, is minimum recess size. So there's the recess size. So I know that if I'm using if the outer ring fits in the recess I've cut, the mortise, it's big enough for the jaws. And likewise, so what I do is I leave it here on my tailstock quill. And it's colored orange, so I can find it in the shavings. If you make one of these, highly recommend you paint it something bright, okay? And so when I'm turning a tenon on a piece of wood, I throw something on the lathe, between centers, I turn a tenon, I'm eyeballing this inner ring, the smaller ring here. So if I'm a little bit bigger than that, I know it'll fit in my chuck, okay?
Nice idea. Nice idea.
Yeah, and I it's one of those things that you evolve to. And I saw some people who were doing a bunch of different things, and people have all kinds of ways to measure that. And there's a couple of really good ideas out there, but I wanted something simple, and I just started simplifying it until I was like, this is perfect. It's it's simple. You can make it out of whatever scrap wood you got floating around the shop. Sorry, future project wood. There's no scrap wood in my shop. So yeah,
Very good. Outstanding. Well, if there's no further questions for Matt, or if Matt's got nothing less to relay on his demo here, we will let him close up shop so he can get back upstairs to some warm weather.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the kind words, and I hope you got a lot out of the demo.
Yes, for
Got
sure.
a lot.
I
Got a lot
picked
out
up
of
a
the
couple
demo,
things.
Matt. Got a lot. Got a lot.
Yep.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, and like after I saw those, this guy in my club, his and mine are quite different, of course. I saw them and I was like, those are really nice. I can make one of those, and I've made a fair amount of boxes. I mean, I have a bunch of examples, but what a great way to really up level your boxes and make something that's really sharp. So
You know what else? You didn't use a whole lot of wood. There was nothing there.
No,
That's
and
the beauty of a box.
and just
It doesn't take a lot.
yeah, and just in case you were wondering, Al, I've got like extra blanks. So
No, I know. But I'm saying what you did and what you showed. I mean, it was nothing.
yeah, it's not a lot of work, and
I'll tell you, it
this
was
is
very enjoyable. Thank you.
well, my pleasure, Al. Thank you.
What
And
was
this
the
is
size of that blank?
It was 6 inches diameter, 5 inches diameter. This one here is finish box. The one I turned today is 5 inches. This is 5 inches in diameter. So the blank was not much larger than that. It was like 5.5, 6 inches in diameter. So and I didn't really struggle to squeeze it into the wood. I left ample room for problems and errors, and so
That'll work. All right. Well, with that, we'll let you get back up to the house, Matt.
Thank you, and thank you very much, everyone.
Great demo.
We really
Enjoyed.
appreciate the demo. I really appreciate you braving the cold weather out there. Next year I will do better on that. My apologies again. And so with that, folks, anybody can do a demonstration. We've illustrated, from various folks that demonstrate already. All you need is a cellular device. Put it up on a little stand, shoot. Even Al Dawson, he's all set up. He's going to be doing something for us here later at the end of the month. So
What do you mean, even L. Dawson? Come on now.
yeah.
Even L. Dawson.
Yeah. Well, we're teaching somebody that's
Even
never done one before, and he's going to be doing one. So
I'm good already. I like I said, I owe some dues.
Good one, Dave.
I appreciate that.
Dane, Dane, can you teach him to turn his camera on instead of hiding from us?
No, he's all right. He's all right.
You want to
He
see
just
my
got fat
goofy
fingers.
face drinking a beer all night?
You're right about
Oh,
that.
you're all right. All right. So, well, with that, we had an excellent demo. So, if anybody wants to demonstrate for us, reach out, let me know. I will get you put on the schedule. I'm currently scheduling for the last couple of weeks of March and April. So let's if you haven't done anything, don't be bashful. Step up there. I'm sure there's something that you can do that you'll be able to show us, and guaranteed, all of us will learn something. Everybody turns differently, and we all learn differently, and there's always something to be shown and something to be seen and something garnered from it. And for the collective of the group, it just does wonders for everybody that tunes in, and for everybody that pulls up the recorded version and watches the demos and the meetings after the fact, that are not able to grace their time and be able to appear here weekly with us. So with that, I am going to resume some gallery here. Let's go to Wyoming and see what Brent's got. Brent, we got you now.
Hi, how you doing? So
Hey,
I had an idea the other day that kind of led to an experiment. The idea was to apply metal leaf through a stencil, and this is the result.
oh, wow.
So it's copper leaf applied through this stencil.
Oh,
Learned a lot on the technique, and it led to a whole lot more ideas and such. And I think I can improve on it and such. So, but it was an interesting idea, and it's copper leaf that's patinated with potash sulfurated. Got a little silver in here. Tried to make a little silver or a moon coming through here. I should have patinated that with ammonium chloride, but that would have kind of been a pain in the ass. It would have turned that into, well, ammonium chloride will turn silver. It goes from a red to a purple to a blue to a black in there. But I kind of got lazy and wasn't quite sure what the potash sulfate. Potash sulfate is, a lot of people call that liver of sulfur, I think, something like that and such. But this was just kind of a little experiment I did, and
yeah, that's neat.
this is something that we will probably be playing with at Level Up.
Oh, wow.
Is
that a holoform?
Yeah, it's just a little simple aspen cylinder I just spun up real quick just for experiment. Nothing special about that. Just a little chunk.
So
of
you
that.
glue that to the sides?
I'm sorry?
You glued that to the sides of it?
Well, it's metal leaf that's applied using a size, an oil-based size. When you're chemical using a chemical patination, you have to use an oil-based size. So it's actually it's used gilding size and such is what I used here and such. So
Okay.
but that's what it's put on with.
Yeah, that's a neat effect.
But I got a lot of ideas on how to do it and such. You might be seeing more of this because I got some ideas on making my own templates or stencils using Photoshop and a Cricut machine. I'm going to be doing some layered stencils with different multi-layered versions with different kinds of metals showing different layers on this stuff. So I think it's a technique that has a lot of potential. So
Yeah, for sure. On your next iteration, we'll have to get you to talk about it during our Level Up.
yeah, I've got 18 months to get this mastered. So
Oh yeah, get you to talk about it several times.
all righty,
Right
that's
on.
what we got tonight.
All right, thank you, Brent.
Bye.
All right, let's go to Mr. Ron. We got you, Ron.
Right, so my son-in-law went up north here in Michigan and brought me back some maple burl. So I made a bowl. I don't know if it's,
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you better see it.
Oh,
Anyway,
yes.
really beautiful grain in the wood, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then and when I cut the blank round, I ended up with a couple of little pieces of left over, so I made this bell, a natural edge bell.
Cool.
Oop,
Oh, very cool. And what kind of wood? What kind of burl was it?
that's maple.
Maple. Wow. You guys were lucky.
Beautiful.
And then about a year ago,
Looks like silver maple, Ron. Is that what it is?
I don't know. He brought it back from up north. He didn't know what it was either, really. He thought it was maple.
All right.
So
Is that the one you had at the club meeting? That was nice.
yeah, that's when I had the club meeting, right? And then when Jim Williams was in town to make those hats, remember we went and I can't remember whose house we went to, cut down uh, a box elder. Like I
Yes.
got some pieces of box elder, and this is a bowl I just made as well. You can't really see all the pretty colors. It's got some orange in it, and red, and even got a couple of ambrosia beetle holes in it.
Beautiful.
But anyway, that's the latest thing I made.
Cool.
Ron, what kind of
All right.
Very, very cool. Nice job, Ron.
What kind of what?
Finish?
Nice job.
Oh, this is interesting. I just put oil on it on this, and I've got to find some kind of a UV retardant finish, right? Because I think you lose the color over time in this kind of a bowl, right?
Now for for the typical colored grains, yeah.
I like that. I like that shape a lot. I like that shape.
I just use that 3M. The 3X has got UV protectant in it. It's spray. That's what I use.
Is it a lacquer?
It might be, but it's got UV stuff in it.
Yeah, so I got to find where that is. We'll talk about it at the next meeting, I guess. I'll let it go until then. But in any case, it's I haven't really put a finish on it yet. I was waiting, and I'm not going to use lacquer inside. My shop is inside the house, and I really can't spray lacquer in the house.
Yeah,
I
right.
understand completely.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, cool. I was hoping it was going to be a cupcake box. We'll just keep the suspense,
No.
Ron. All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All
All right,
right.
let's go to Mr. Reynolds. Hey, Terry. You're muted. There we go.
Well, I finally got out in the shop doing some stuff, but this is a piece that I did quite a while ago when I was doing the lampshades. It's an end grain piece. It's a cut off from one of the lampshades that I made. And I just hollowed it out.
Wow.
But the reason that I'm showing it, I showed it before, I think. The reason I'm showing it is I had another cut off that's been laying on the bench ever since I did that. And finally, I picked it up and decided I'd do something with it. And that's what I came up with. This
Very
one's got
nice.
that other one, both of them have Minwax tongue oil on them. And this one's got 3 coats on it. And
That's good, Terry.
pretty good. And this is the bottom of it. I put a little rim on it. I undercut this to start with, and I didn't like it, so I took it back out of there. But I made the bottom pretty much. And you see this little place right here? That put me in the Band-Aid club.
Yeah.
I got 3 knuckles. Didn't get them bad, just brushed them. Don't do that.
No.
I love the
And then
I love the way that piece shows the shape of the tree. Can you hear me?
Yeah. That tree, I cried ever since we did it. We went out, the club went out to a church that cut it down time, but there was another piece of it, and it was probably 20 feet tall and 4 feet in diameter, and it was all burl. and we left it there and too long, and he hired a tree surgeon come and hauled it all off. And but it was nice, and we got a lot of nice wood out of it. And then I got volunteered to do a spiral goblet at our club meeting this weekend, and this is just practicing on it. And, that's pretty much what I'm going to try to do. And this is another. This is one I did before. That's a practice I did now. The first practice I did today made a really pretty walnut funnel. That's pretty much what I got, except I was down at the Dollar Tree looking through stuff, and I found these little tiny cup things. I thought, oh, maybe they would be good for paint or little bit of stuff or stain or something, they got a lid to them. And I brought it home and had another idea, a gym idea. Stool ample.
There you go.
Special.
It's a real small one. That's all I got, guys.
Well, there's big skills.
All right. Thank you, Terry. All right. Let's go to Mr. Davis. Hey, Ray.
Here I am on. Just a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I got one of my segmented bowls.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Jeez.
My lands.
Holy mackerel. My goodness. Okay, how many rings and how many per ring?
Well, 16 segments per ring throughout the bowl. And there's 270 segments in it, approximately. We got walnut, maple, bloodwood, wingay, and the knob up here on top is black and white ebony. And it's finished with a lacquer, a spray-on lacquer.
Oh my goodness.
So nice.
That's the inside of the lid.
Oh my goodness.
And
yeah, that is
outstanding.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Okay, now your lid. How did you get all the curves? So that's each ring?
The waves.
The waves, right.
Oh, on the lid?
No. How did you create the waves?
The wave.
Yeah. On your lid.
The segmented. The arches. The arches on the lid.
Yeah, the arches. Well, at first I made the lid. I made it in two different pieces, and then made them together. But the lid, I did that separately and put the arches in there, and I did that on a table saw. And I made a jig to index that, and I kind of just, if you look, this is kind of indexed right on that.
That's a part I was questioning right there. Right.
Well, basically, there's two colors there. There's the bloodwood and wingay, and so there's 4 stripes of wingay and 4 stripes of bloodwood. And so I just indexed those at 90 degrees, and then used the mark. Where the segments joined right here is my index, because I use 16 segments in a ring.
Right. Wow.
And that allowed it to go through
Sure did.
inner also.
How long did that take you to do?
A little over a month.
So did you cut those on the table saw using a dado stack or?
No, I just used a normal
What? Regular
carbide
saw?
blade, and then I cut the strips to the same thickness as that carbide blade, and then glued them together. So I would do two, one on opposite side, put a strip in there, and then glue it together, let that dry, and then rotate it and do the same thing, and then change colors. So there's eight cuts along that top.
So they were cut on each ring separately before they were glued together?
No. The whole top was made as one, and then I indexed it on a sled on my table saw and made that slice through there. Then I had a piece of the Wingate or Bloodwood, and it was about yay thick and so long, slid it in there and glued it, and two sides at a time. So it took quite a while to get that, and trying to get it just right.
That's really cool. That's really neat.
And then
Awesome job.
All right, well, we can just end the meeting and all gallery just now, you know. Everybody
Yeah.
else.
Nobody's gonna top that.
Yeah, I was just,
the bottom
was just
is
thinking
all
that's really
segmented.
That's all I was doing is shaking my head.
I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah.
the bottom is segmented.
Now, are you going to enter that in the state fair coming up?
I think I will. I haven't seen any challengers yet.
Yeah. That is, Ray, that is spectacular.
Hey, thank you very much.
unbelievable.
Yes. Yep.
Appreciate it.
And so Ray will be back on again in about a month to show off his.
You can't hurry these projects, you know.
No, you can't. Yeah. Fantastic job, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing. We're all blessed.
Wonderful.
Now we're going to be
Absolutely
blessed by this individual. Look at him.
Ooh, that's a tough one to
Duxbury.
follow. That's a tough one to follow.
Only do it.
I've been turning, what?
Only you can follow him.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I've been turning sandboxes. This is the,
Oh, that's neat.
and the inside is turned, this is done on my check. It's got interlocking rings.
How cool.
It's turned on 11 centers.
Wow.
Anyway,
11 centers.
and I've shown this one before. I've shown this one,
There's the large size. Yeah.
but I made a different kind. This is this goes the other way. This is a left and a right.
Wow.
And also on this one, the center is up here. And on this one, the center is below the piece. It's down here. So,
Those
are
always
impressive, Jim.
Most of us are still trying to figure out one center, and then some of us have evolved, to 2, 3, or 4, but 11? Goodness.
So, yeah, and this one here too, the center is below, the center is below here. So the center's outside of the piece.
Right. Right. Wow.
Anyway,
That's
so
pretty.
all done on that chuck, that Dutch chuck.
Yeah, the Dutch chuck.
But this one's not finished yet. I also didn't cut it quite as deep as the other one.
Well, I can see you turning that into a clamshell box.
There you go. Right.
You could do that. Yeah. Yeah. You could do all kinds of stuff with this. So.
Oh, Wow.
Anyway,
Man, that's nice.
Yes.
back of it. I don't know what to do with some of this stuff. I figured out how to
Neither
make
do
all,
I.
and neither does Rita. Yeah.
Now, if you could get that spiral on the other side too to match it.
This one is harder to do. This one, the tool, this is going this way around. So this, your tool's going in here and having to come out tangent down here. So when you're doing one of these big ones, your tool's going in here and having to come out right there. And that's pretty hard to do. The thing's coming at you like this. It's coming at you, so you have to start here and make sure you come out here. When you do a left-handed one, or I call this left-handed.
Hey, Jim, wait. When you start at the beginning and you come out at the end, that's all just one turn. How many turns?
What do you mean, how many turns?
I mean, to get that depth.
Oh,
So you're,
it all depends. Some go faster than others. Well, and some are deeper than others too. But,
okay, that's right. From the center out. Okay, right. Okay.
but this thing on the lathe is coming at you like this. So you have to start here and come out here. On this one, you're starting here and coming out here. So it's much easier to do. In fact, if I ever do one of these again, I'll do it on the other side of the lathe, turning backwards. So it goes in here and comes out here. This is not only hard to do, it's kind of dangerous. When you get up here on the outside of this thing, it's coming around like this, and the piece is coming at you, and all you're hitting is this little area. So it's kind of dangerous.
You're absolutely right. You're right. Yeah.
Anyway, on the other one, you're starting here. So this is close to the center. You're starting here and coming out here. So it's coming. It's still not the nicest thing, but it's much easier to do.
Right. Wow.
Less scary to do.
Yeah, less scary. Yeah.
I don't know what would be involved, but if you could embellish that with mother of pearl, oh my God.
Oh, gang, you're getting. I just figured out how to do it.
Challenge for Rita. You make them, and she does the mother of pearl.
Rita might be able to do it.
I could try.
She's doing taxes tonight.
I'm doing taxes.
Hey, I've been doing taxes myself.
Hey, speaking of scary things, I got talked into, or I did a demo. I've done a couple demos now, and Dane talked me into recording them. And I don't know, when am I on, Dane?
The 12th of February for the first one, and then the following week on the 19th.
Okay, that was kind of interesting. We did that in Tom Kenny's shop, and Walt Wager did the editing, and new experience. Tom Kenny's shop ruined me. I was ready to sell mine to the junk store when I got home, but anyway. Also,
almost like Tom doesn't use his.
Get it all shined up. It took him a while to get it cleaned up, I'm sure. But, we had a great time down there. We really had a great time.
We froze.
And yeah, we did freeze, but other than that, it was.
It's almost 80 today.
I
said it was up to 80, almost 80 degrees today.
Yeah,
It just came at the wrong time.
They tell me that when we get home. But, also we got a new member. Joaquin's on here. He's been in the hospital. This is his first day home.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep.
Good to
All
see
right.
you.
Good to see y'all. Fantastic.
Welcome home, bud.
Glad to be here. Feel at home.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Duxbury. Thanks, Rita, for chiming in there. I look forward to seeing that mother of pearl. I can't wait.
Okay,
I know
I'll
the challenge is, I know the challenge has been accepted on that.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let's go to Mr. Phipps. All right, Todd, we got
Hello.
you.
Yeah, thank you. So with Rita sitting there, I did one more lighthouse last week, so more inspiration from her, but I wasn't going to show that. I had a garbage disposal go out in my house last night, and so this morning I was at Home Depot buying a new garbage disposal, and I decided to go down the tool thing and picked up a couple more of these little plastic screwdrivers. And so this afternoon, after the garbage disposal was in, I turned me a little screwdriver handle for it there. So did that today, and then that's the chestnut stains that that Matthias was using a couple weeks ago, and I sort of went from a green faded to a blue. It's got a black in the background, but there was really no figure in this wood, so it I pretty much sanded it all off. But and then there's I think I have one coat of Def lacquer on that and one coat of the Hampshire Sheen gloss lacquer on that. Just two little coats of lacquer on that little screwdriver. That'll be a gift.
That is pretty.
Oh, thank you. And then like a few weeks ago, Matthias was on and he was using that chestnut stain, and he has a different technique for applying the stain than what I do. I've always done it very similar to what Martin Saban Smith had showed me how to do, and so I decided to take a different approach and try to do the stain the way Martin did. And I'm telling you, it's not really turning out the way I want. This is a piece of London Pane. I don't know if you can see the grain in it, but doing it, he starts at like 100 grit or something, puts the stain on, and then as he gets rid of the black, he's moving up the grits and puts on a color and moves up the grits. And I couldn't get it to really highlight the grain in it the way I wanted to. Like in contrast to it, here was one that I did before, and you can see the London Pane grain in the color on this one before, and on this one I went to 400 and started putting on the stain, and then basically just stayed at 400 adding the stains as I got the depth. But this one didn't quite, except for maybe one little place right in there where the grain really showed up nice in it. And then there's that same texturing tool that Matt was showing off today. This is the small version of it. I think his was the bigger version of that Sorby, but this is the little mini version. And then I put some black embellishing wax in it, trying to pull off of the shade of that. So I think that's what I had. So thank you very much.
Good job.
All right, thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.
Very nice.
All right, let's go to Mr. King. Roll Tide. It's been a while. Hey, Howard.
You're
Still
muted.
muted.
Walt King.
There you go.
Anyway, I don't know if Walt King is on, but
Yeah.
He is.
I spent last week over Madison, Georgia, and at a antique tool meet, and I looked up and I saw Joaquin come walking down the aisle. I mean, he was your double ganger. I mean, he had his ball cap on, and I should have took his picture and sent it to you. But anyway, he was just
Somebody looked like me out there.
yes, and I called him Joaquin the whole weekend. So anyway, he was from Kentucky, and I think it's Bob something. But man, y'all were y'all were twins. Y'all must have been separated at birth or something.
You reckon?
Yeah. And Matt, that was a great demo. Good demo. I guess he's already gone. He's trying to warm up, I guess. But anyway,
No, I'm back. Thank you, Howard.
anyway, I got this.
Sweet.
Show you.
Wow.
Big platter and this mahogany, and I did stippling on this with a burner, and this part is bleached out, and some of this is India ink, and anyway, it's pretty thin. I guess you can tell. It's about 23 inches across, and there's the back of it. So beautiful mahogany.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Stuff. Yeah.
Front of it looks 3D.
Yeah, this side looks better than this side. I messed this side up, so you know. But anyway, this is raised here a little bit, and so
The whole thing looks like it is. That sucker is cool.
thank you. So I have it'd be a giant frisbee. I don't know if I can throw it, but anyway. Anyway, that's all I got.
Oh goodness.
That's hard. That's nice.
Oh. Well, it looks like Dane has left us.
Yeah, he went to do his cats, and he didn't send me any more gallery people. So I don't know if he didn't have any more.
I think that was the last one.
Okay. Well, then I'll highlight myself and show you what I was doing this week. This will be a future demo.
Gotcha.
Got me?
Yep.
Okay. So I made this. This is a carbide tool. I bought just the carbide. And I made this handle with nothing but files and a drill press and a hacksaw. So I'm going to do a demo for you guys on how to do that. So if you don't have fancy equipment or whatever, and you want to make your own carbide tool, I have this one so it'll fit into one of Martin Clarkston's tool handles that you know is multi-tool type handle, can be locked in. That's a future demo coming up in a few weeks on how to create that tool. You can see I recessed it.
Yeah.
Drilled the hole.
That's good.
So that's just something I've been playing with this week. Something to fill in a little bit while Dane's off doing his cats.
Anybody else?
Did you guys just hear that thunder outside here?
No.
Thunder outside.
It's like 12 degrees here. You know.
We got Air Force jets flying over here. The F-35s are training this week, so
that's what it
everything sounds like thunder.
Woo! Anybody else got anything to show? Goodness.
Or talk about or have questions on?
My lathe died. And what's a good brand that's not real expensive?
For what's that?
Used.
I said my lathe died. I'm looking for a new one.
The size.
My recommendation is to buy the biggest lathe you can afford.
Yep. True.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a 1640 that I really like. A jet.
Yeah, I like mine too.
I got two Deltas and a Laguna.
Yeah.
I got a Jet Mini that I love, a 1221 VS, but my main lathe that you saw tonight is the Powermatic 3520B, and I love that thing too. So,
you know, they're the same company, right, Matt?
Well, they weren't when I bought both of them, so they are now.
They are now.
Yep. You got somebody for gallery there, Scott. Randy Smith has got something.
I got him.
We tell you, go to your local club. Go to your local club. there's so many people quitting and moving and dying that there's secondhand lathes out there for a song.
Yep, quite often.
I'm about 200 miles from the nearest club.
Well,
I'll bet this one closer.
it's worth the drive for a phone call.
Yep. Randy Smith's got something to show us. What you got, Randy?
Yes. Last week, actually 2 weeks ago, the local Lancaster area woodturners coffee clutch, which is kind of an hour-long social meeting, had a guest star, and that was Barbara Dill, who does multi-axis turning. And I was so intrigued by her. Hang on. Let me kill my. Okay. I was so intrigued by her presentation that I went out and ordered a copy of her book. This actually kind of codifies the different techniques in making multi-axis turnings. I've only gotten up to like page 25 so far, but she goes into detail about the differences between parallel axes and offset axes and twisted axes, and it's very intriguing and very interesting read. And I'll post the link to the Social Hour YouTube video in the chat momentarily. And that's what I have to share. I just came back from Banff in British Columbia skiing. It was minus 14 degrees one morning. A bit cold, but you dress warmly and you're perfectly warm. So take care, everybody. Stay warm.
Cannot imagine sliding down a hill on a couple of skis.
Isn't that crazy? In 14 degree
It's a
weather.
lot of fun.
Oh,
It's fun. People have weird ideas of what's fun, you know.
Oh,
and then they go off and jump. Oh.
Gee.
Yeah, I don't do that. I was taught to keep my skis on the snow.
Well, I have a question for the group. If somebody can tell me, been watching YouTube and the creation of segmented bowls, and it looks like I'm not. No, there I am. Okay, and I've been noticing people have been using a brown glue for the segmenting. What is this brown glue? I've never really seen this. I've seen usually tan glues, in other words, and white glues.
Probably a hide glue.
What is it?
Hide
glue. Okay.
Yeah.
Or isn't one of the tight bonds a hide imitation?
Yeah, there's some brown glues out there for gluing like walnut trim and things like that. So that it hides supposedly hides the glue line.
Right.
Type Bond has a dark glue.
Yeah.
For dark woods. I have some.
Well, they seem to use it in mass as if it's water. And I'm wondering, is it, when you say it's hide glue, do you mean for gluing rawhide normally or something?
No,
or?
gluing wood.
Yeah.
It's the first form of glue, Dave.
But
what?
you know what also, just stay with a regular like tight bond too, because you're going to want to go and move things around in your ring, and you're going to want to have control of what you're doing.
Hide glue will do that too, Al.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hide glue is made from processing of waste from animals.
And
it's
mainly the hooves, isn't it?
It's hooves and the scrapings off of the leather, the tallow off the leather. So it's an old form of glue, and I don't know how much of it is really the old formula or not anymore. You used to have to heat hide glue in a pot.
Yeah.
It used to come in little little cubes, and you used to have to heat it in a melting pot in order for it to work. But some of the new, they have some liquid hide glues now that I don't know if they're truly hide glue.
Yeah, I think so, Scott.
Yeah, but I mean, again, we're only talking, putting rings together. You know, I mean,
Hide glue would probably work really well, other than the fact that it does dry out and will come apart at some point.
Then you don't want to use that for sure.
No, so
I don't know. Some of my segmented mentors, they said you don't get the creep on this hide glue like you did some other glues, but
Yeah.
it's contraction.
The modern version, right, Joaquin?
Yeah, that's what they swore by, that you didn't get the creep. Some pieces you can feel barely feel the cracks between some of them because
Yeah.
they creep and move and expand and contract. But they said you wouldn't get that with the hide.
I see.
As much.
Hey, you'll have to research it, Dave, and then get back to us.
Yeah, I will. I'm really curious about it.
The only hide glue I ever used, you had to heat it on a stove to melt it and make it hot.
Yeah.
It's scalding hot when you use it.
All right, Steven's got well, there it is. He's got a steady rest he'd like to show us. So, Steven, where'd you go?
I'm right here.
There he is.
Can you bring me up?
There you go.
There we go.
There we go. I wanted to build a steady rest for my Powermatic, and but I didn't want to make one of those giant ring steady rests that are very common. So I saw one Alan Stratton on it as the wood turns. Had a unique design that captures it from two sides using 4 wheels. So he doesn't have any plans, but I kind of reverse engineered it, and I put it on So I got a T-track here for these carriages to slide on to go in and out, and it captures the turning with these wheels here that got a little bit of play to it, and these also come in and out, so you can tighten it up, snug it up. I just finished it last night, and I tried it on a piece of like a 3 or 4 inch round cylinder, and it held it pretty good, but I haven't tried it yet for turning, so I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah,
excellent.
Looks like it works pretty good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I hope it works.
I bet it
I
will.
like that, not having to thread it through the center of one. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
And I'm thinking if I ever get a hollowing system with the laser, it probably won't interfere with that.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Just show us when you do it.
Yeah. Take a picture.
Yeah, no, yeah, show us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That looks like it's pretty well built.
That looks like it needs to be put in the newsletter.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I'll send it. Thanks. That's all I have.
Hey, Dane's back.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, I had to go, even though my main kitty passed away last week.
Aw.
I still have one other that I have to medicate. So anyway, I'm back. Thank you all for filling in, getting the extra
No,
gallery folks in.
not a problem. Anybody else have anything for gallery? We got what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes. We can keep it running here.
If anybody's interested, Malcolm Tibbetts put all of his DVDs on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
And you can start watching a lot of those if anybody's interested.
I'm up to about number 8 or 9.
I think there's 67 total.
Yes, yes.
I'm like probably 6 or 7, 8 or 9. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a master for sure.
Nice to see you, Joaquin.
Good to see you.
I was walking around when I heard that you everybody said hi to you. But really, it's nice to see you.
You bet. Hi back.
No, big high five. If I see you, it's gonna be a big fist bump.
Thank you.
No, man, hey, that's good. Nice to see you. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's looking good.
How long before you can start turning again, Joaquin?
As far as I'm concerned, it's tomorrow.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, what'd your wife say?
Well, I asked the doctor in front of her twice, did this have anything to do with wood turning? He said, no,
Right.
you had a leak in your lung. Wood turning did not cause you to have a leak in your lung.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's really, what was bad about this deal, when I first went in on the 19th, I had a total collapsed lung. They say it just happens, okay? So they send me home. Well, they didn't go far enough to detect this leak in my lung until I go back in 2 weeks later. Then they send me to Houston, they find the leak. Here in Corpus Christi, we haven't got a high enough level people to do that, in my opinion. And they worked with it till they sealed it and says, go home, see you later. Wood turning had nothing to do with it.
Great.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you guys very much. Really support.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate your support.
All from the heart, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Absolutely.
You look good too. Actually, you look like you look a little refreshed. All that extra
Yeah.
downtime. And
It's amazing what home looks like, what home feels like when you get home. Today was
amazing what home cooking tastes like.
Today was 4 weeks in the hospital.
Wow.
I know, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Could have been that long.
God bless you, Joaquin. God bless you.
Absolutely. It was.
God bless you.
So you have no more tubes in here or nothing?
No, I'm clear.
Awesome.
Great.
You know what? Would they tell you anything about your diet? Change your diet?
No, I'm not limited to anything. No, just take it easy for a little while, just because I've been in the hospital that long and my muscles are, out of tone and such, and so get back in shape and get after it.
There you go.
It's like the dog's happy you're home and is sleeping in the chair.
Yeah. So I think pins may be in line tomorrow.
There you go.
Something anyway, guys.
Right.
Good deal.
Nice to see you home.
Absolutely. That's a nice smile on your face for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, show. All right. Well, we got about 15 minutes to go here. See, Cade just popped in. Is he driving or is he at home?
No, I'm at home. Yeah, I'm at home now.
All right.
So I'm just chilling out, putting some finish on stuff.
There we go.
How's everyone doing?
No, not too bad. Nobody can complain.
Right on. And if they do, no one listens.
That's a fact.
Right. Right.
Right on.
What you putting finish on?
That bow back here.
A bunch of stuff. Some bow limbs, a bow riser, some urns, some boxes, some hair sticks. Yeah.
What finish you put on your hair sticks?
Same finish I put on everything. Tongue oil.
Right. Tongue oil. Can't believe you had to ask that question.
I know.
I don't think he owns anything else.
No. And if I do, I mix it with tongue oil.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
Or if you got to buy wipe on poly, you pour it into a tongue oil vessel. That way you still think you're putting tongue oil on.
Excellent.
Yeah, for sure. But
Valvoline oil. It's tongue oil.
Valvoline oil. Right
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's before your time.
Yeah, I'm starting to get finish on that bow riser I did and dyed and whatnot. It's really coming along there. It's really popping with the shine on there. I can't really touch it, but I can spin it on the camera.
Wow. Don't touch it.
Oh yeah, I briefly saw the picture earlier today before Facebook refreshed, and I wasn't able to find it again due
It's
to
starting to
time
take on some
constraints.
shine. But now all the layers of the stains and dyes and stuff are getting 3D, which is cool too.
What'd you make it out of? What'd you make it out of, Dave?
Pardon?
What'd you make it out of?
It's made out of maple with red oak, white oak, laminate strips in the middle. Yeah. I actually should have done a before and after picture, and then I dyed it green before I started playing with all the other colors. And it looked pretty cool when it was just green, but I was like, no, that's too plain. Gotta be a little more flashy
go.
and chameleon lizard like.
Did you make that for yourself or is that for a customer?
That one's for me. But
Yeah.
since I posted that, I have like 5 that want theirs done. So another hobby that turns into a business, which is all right because every day is a hustle.
There you go.
So,
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if you ever stop, then you know what? That's when you just stopped. So you have to continue. Don't ever look back.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Never
not cool.
look back.
And the limbs, I even dyed the wood in the core was a very plain rock maple. I didn't like the white because I wanted it to match the riser, so I dyed it green as well.
Very cool.
Oh, then.
So yeah, it was cool. I was surprised it took the stain and whatnot because everything's so heavily epoxied, right?
Yep.
But it turned out good. So
show. Well, good having you in so early and being in the
yeah,
shop.
thanks. Sort of popped in a little late, but I mean, better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all good. All good. Well, does anybody else have anything to share or have a question or comment on how to do something or another before we end the main meeting and start
What you
the
got on
after
the lay
hours?
there, Dane?
Huh?
What have you got on the lay back behind you?
I got a cedar bowl in process.
Cedar, okay.
Natural edge, about 10.5 inches from lip to lip. Almost got the outside done. When I was coming across the bottom here, there's a whole section that's about inch and 3/8 wide, and it goes all the way across to the other side. But it's only, from where the curvature is going to stop. It's just nothing but rotten wood. So, so stabilize that up, and so I've just been letting it sit for the past few days.
How did you stabilize it?
Well, initially I used some fine cedar chips and CA, but when I was at the Gem and Mineral Show day before yesterday, I wound up picking up some UV resin and a nice UV Maglite. So when I go to finish the overall profile, if I turn through everything, then I'm just going to use some UV and put some copper mica coloring in there to go along with the Arizona Copper State theme. So
Was that the one
and I
at
got
Tucson?
yeah, it's the big
It's the
gem and mineral
biggest.
show
It's
going
the
on right
biggest
now.
one in the country.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is.
I'd
Yeah.
love to come out there at some point and go to it.
Yeah, we went down to one of the ones at the casinos, which is pretty much it was a bead specific. There's some other stuff there, but Tina likes going down there to get beads for around the world for Amber because she likes making necklaces and bead art, this, that, and the other. So, so there's certain vendors, we talk to, they remember us from every year. I think more so for me because I kind of get silly with them. They get a kick out of talking with me, and or at least that's what I tell myself when I leave every day. So yeah, it's real good. And then the other one that we'll go to next week is the one at the Keno Sports Complex, which is I don't know, like 4 acres, and there's just anything and everything, with the gems and the rocks, and I'll probably pick up some more turquoise to go along with the other 5 pounds of turquoise that I haven't used yet. So,
Hey, Cade, do you have a finishing booth?
Yeah, like a spray booth.
Somebody had a question in the chat. I just wanted to know if you have a finishing booth.
Not really. I have a finishing area or a finishing room. I have a little spray type box that's retrofitted as like a spray box, but not specifically a spray booth.
Let's see.
oh, I will show you guys one cool thing that I picked up. I'm going to try for embellishing. Let me get dark background here. So I picked up some selenite.
Ooh.
And so I'm going to crush it. So it's see-through, essentially.
Oh.
So this is just a rough crystal, and you can mark it with your fingernail. So it's malleable enough to turn with with our high-speed steel. But I'm gonna crush it up and use that for some type of embellishing in the future.
Oh.
So thought that was neat. It was $1.
Yeah.
So why not?
There you go. Price is right.
I tried crushing some of that different things up and using it with CA for embellishing, and it would turn a gray color even though it was clear.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. So
Yeah, on that ultralight and all that stuff. About 40 years ago, I started fly fishing, tying flies. And that doctor come up with tying flies with that stuff, but we had smaller lights and all that. And now we're using it in wood turning,
Yep.
It's amazing.
It was funny, at the jewelry counter that was, had to display with the resin and little tubs, for mixing it in the alcohol dyes and, and then the Maglite. It's 52 lumen and I think it's 15 or 25 watts. I can't remember now. I have to look at the box again. But I've already tried it out, and it takes like 3 seconds, and the resin is cured. Just amazing on that end of it. But sitting there talking, so I let her do her spiel about it, and then she got an education on what UV resin can really be used for, outside of just jewelry. She just thought it was a jewelry concept and bonding beads and wire together. It was kind of funny. But all right, well, with that, we are at the top of the hour. So we'll call this the demarcation point for the main meeting. I want to appreciate and thank everybody that are still remaining with us, that came to the meeting. We had a great demo tonight by Matt Harbor. It was extremely cold for him, so we got to appreciate him braving 15, 20-degree weather he had there in his shop. He doesn't have a heater, so hats off to him for that.
To be fair, Dane, I do have electric heater in the shop, but it doesn't add a whole lot.
Well, yeah, but that's why I say that, you know. Yeah, it's not a real good heat. Well, you know what I mean. It's
it brings it up
compared
from
to
15 degrees
compared to what Scott
to
Tate's got,
25.
where he's all heated up nice and toasty.
Yeah.
But we appreciate that. And then so with that, I will keep the meeting open, for what we call the after hours.